Hi, Kerry Garrison with 888 VoIP Store, and today I want to show you the new snom M9. The M9 is kind of the big brother to the older M3. The handset is a little easier to work with. It's got bigger keys on it, no more fat fingering for someone with big old fingers like myself. And what's really neat about the system is it comes with 2 handsets, all included in the price. Now you can increase this to 9 handsets for a total of 4 simultaneous calls. And it does use DECT technology for wireless calling and extreme mobility. And the color, picture, and display and general layout give a mobile phone-like feel. It's actually very comfortable in your hand. It's got a great layout to it, very easy to understand controls, just like you would see on a typical cell phone. It's got a 128 by 128 pixel color display, 8 hours of call time or 100 hours of standby. Again, 9 handsets per base station, and you can do 9 SIP registrations, and they can all have different servers and registrars. But typically, it's going to be to allow you to have a different extension for each handset. And it can support 4 simultaneous VoIP calls. So even though you have 9 registrations, you probably want to keep it down to 4 unless they're going to be very rarely used, because you can only get 4 simultaneous VoIP calls. It's got really tight integration with Microsoft OCS and incorporates the snom SIP stack. It also supports caller ID with name and image, and it supports G711, G729, and G722 wideband codec. So it's a great feature set all packed into a little bitty box. It's got a base station that just connects with power and Ethernet, and you log into the web interface just like you would do with any other SIP phone and set up the registrations. And then you can set up identities for each handset to determine how those work. You can intercom between handsets operated by the same base. It's got a backlit keyboard on it, a 2.5 millimeter headphone jack. The battery pack is a lithium ion. It should be good for about 10 hours of operating time. And you should be able to get about 50 meters indoors and 100 meters outdoors. I've tested this, and the range is really, really good on these. I can go out my front door and go a couple houses in either direction without losing the signal. So you should be able to get really good range out of these. Again, it's Microsoft OCS compatible, IPv6 ready, the ClearVoice wideband audio, caller ID with name and image, a separate charging cradle for each handset, so you can just leave the handsets wherever they're going to be used. They don't have to be near the base. And SIP configuration is done through the web interface. So again, lots of features, small package. So how do we set these up? It's actually pretty simple. Once you plug it into your network, as long as you have a DHCP server running, then the device will get an IP address, and then we can use the phone to determine that IP address and go in and set up the phone. So let's take a look at the steps for that. First, you want to press the middle key on the directional pad, go to the settings, and then go to System Info. I'm doing it right here as I speak. And the IP address will be displayed on the phone. And you'll want to know the identifier of each handset, which is the individual MAC address, so that you can set up those multiple identities if you choose to do that. Open a web browser and go to the base station's IP address. Use admin and password as the password, and we'll go to the identity one and enter our information. So we're just going to go ahead and do that real quick here. I'm going to log in as admin and password, and we're going to go to identity one. So I've got my display name, my account, which is my extension generally. With 3CX, it's the extension. With TrixBox Pro, it's the SIP password, or the SIP login. We have the registrar, which is the IP address or host name of our PBX, the authentication name, and our SIP password in twice. And then down at the bottom for mailbox, that's going to be the extension number that you dial to get to your voicemail system. With 3CX, it's 999. With TrixBox Pro, it's 8500. And then all you do is save these settings, and the phones will come up. Now this is going to get both of the phones working on the same extension. If you want to do different configurations, then you can go in and set up different identities for different handsets. But that's a quick overview of the snom M9. Again, it's kind of the big brother to the snom M3. If you liked the M3, you're probably really going to like the M9. It's got a better feature set, it's a bigger phone, it's easier to work with, it's easier to dial, and it comes with 2 handsets. So check it out, the snom M9 here at 888 VoIP Store. This has been Kerry Garrison. Thanks for watching.